What's happening, entrepreneur? This is Anthony Miller, the Mentoring Mind Coach. The title of today's episode is Direct, No Chase. What I mean by that is when you are introducing yourself to someone who you think is an intended spouse, or you have completed the 110 to 1 ratio, and let me break that down right quick. You're going to date 100 different women. Number one caveat is that you are not going to engage in sexual intercourse with any of those 100 women. So you have to be disciplined. You have to have self-control in order for this to work. We do not want babies that we don't want. We don't want to create feelings between you and that woman that you don't want. We are not going to convey any untruths. We're going to be upfront and honest. So you do not have intercourse in no type of way. You're just dating. 10, the number 10. Only 10 out of that 100 get date number 2. Only 10. And they have to do something. They have to impress you. You have to feel a connection. There has to be some chemistry, some compatibility, and you need to find out about the core values. Does this woman share at least 80% of your core values? Now, you're not going to ask her 100 questions to determine that. You have to take her on a date that will allow you to find it, because you only got one shot, one opportunity, right? You're not going to ask her so many questions that she feels like she's on a job interview. You want to ask enough questions to where you know, is there chemistry? Do we have compatibility? And do we share enough core values? Because if she makes it to date number 2, you will be able to find out if you share even more core values. And then 1, out of that 100, you're going to choose one woman. This might take you 6 months. This might take you a year. This might take you 2 years. But we are not in a rush. We are not on a time clock. We are not in desperation mode. We are not looking to find someone just to hurry up and marry. We're not desperate for sex like that we have to rush things and things get put out of order. We are not in desperation mode. No, we are not. We are taking our time with this. Direct no chase is really simple, man. We are going to explain to this woman exactly what we are looking for. We are not going to beat around the bush. We are not going to act like we don't have clarity, that we are not brilliant, that we have not taken our time to determine the type of woman that we need in our life, an asset that we absolutely cannot live without. And you may even want to say that to her. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for an asset that I cannot live without. I want to make sure that you are the woman that I can't live without. Tell her that if you must. We are not chasing a woman. We are not putting a woman on a pedestal. The only being that we put on a pedestal is God. We don't put our mothers on the pedestal. We don't put our children on the pedestal. We like and love them, hopefully, but we're not going to put them on a pedestal. We're not going to put our wife on a pedestal. Beta males do that. They put women on pedestals and they often end up regretting it. 3 things that you probably want from a woman. Number 1, a woman who is going to drain your balls. Frequently, consistently, and in the way that you like them to be drained. All right? You didn't do all this work to attract her to you, only to marry somebody who doesn't satisfy you sexually. If you are looking for a freak, you got to let her know. You may want to say to her straight up, when I come home from a hard day of work, I've been going hard in the paint. Man, my brain is fried. I'm cooked. You know, I can barely walk because I've been bossing this nugget. I've been bossing this brain so tough and so heavy. But I got the results that I've been looking for. I made $3,000 today as a result of bossing my brain, leveling up, being the best version of myself. I cooked today. Are you willing to greet me at the front door, almost so the neighbors can see? When a wife beater, Daisy Dukes, high heels or pumps, drop down to your knees with your mouth wide open. If you know that you like her lips on your Johnson, on your love pole, on your soul pole, on your stick, you better let her know. Because if she says, or if she thinks in her mind, I'm not into that, I don't do that, I don't suck, then she's not your wife. Because you're going to be miserable in marriage. And what is my whole goal? To stop unhappy marriages from starting. Ain't no need for you to get down on bended knee, open up that blue velvet box and ask her for her hand in marriage if she ain't willing to do that. And I'm going to say this, and I don't encourage fornication. I don't. But some of y'all gonna fornicate no matter what I say. So, if you're going to engage in fornication, you better have her prove that that is what she's willing to do. When you come over to her house or she comes over to your house, let's see if it happens. Because what's the evidence? I'm not off sexuality. I won't linger there, but I'm not off it yet. If you like physical touch, if you like for your woman to massage your body, I mean with the oil, and I ain't talking about no 2-minute massage. If you want her to get in there and break up those hard, tough, stiff muscles, you better let her know. We're talking about being direct, no chasing. We're not chasing. We're not putting on no facade. We need to know. If you want your woman to tongue kiss you and make slobbering noises and put her tongue all down your throat and you reciprocate, you better let her know. Let her know. We're going to stop these unhappy marriages, man. We got too many people getting married and they not even sexually compatible. Too many people tying a knot and there's no sexual chemistry. Too many men who want it all day. And the wife, I'm tired. I had a hard day. I was dealing with the kids. I got a headache. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm on my menstrual, and you know that they're not. Now, that may happen down the line, 8 years down the line, but remember, in the African American community, 75% of all first-time marriages end in divorce in the first 7 years. You might want to make sure she got a pole in her bedroom or in her attic or in her basement or in the garage that she swings from. If she takes those pole dancing classes, that is a sign, brother. That's a good sign that she's a freak. If she takes dances to learn how to make your Johnson stand up at attention, that is a good sign for you. If the first thing on your mind is, I need a freak every day of the week. If you like putting your soul pole inside of 3 holes that God gave her, and she only wants it in one, you are incompatible. The two of you are going to be experiencing combat in the worst type of way. She's going to say you want it too much, and you're going to say you don't give it to me enough. Physical touch is one of the love languages, you know. Now, if you want to play make-believe, if you want her to dress up as Catwoman and you dress up as the burglar, if you want her to dress up as the Queen of Sheba and you are King Solomon, or you're King Tut, you better be direct. We're not chasing untruths. We're not going down rabbit holes that lead to nowhere. We're being direct. You better ask somebody. When I was younger, it was some people who used to use that phrase. It's only in our community we come up with these phrases. You better ask somebody. And what that meant was, if you want to get to know me, you better ask around. I got a reputation to uphold. These are the things that I like. But instead of asking neighbors, see, we don't tell neighbors about our sexual proclivity. We don't do that. We tell the woman. But a lot of you men are not telling the woman. You're not making it known. You're not being upfront with it. You're not being open. You're hoping that she can read your mind. She can't read your mind, bruh. Nor can you read hers. Physical touch, sexuality. If you like role playing, if you like putting your soul pole in all three of her holes, and she only wants it in 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3, you better know that before you ask her for her hand in marriage. Because we're not getting divorced because you want it 7 days a week and she only wants it 1 day out of every 3 weeks. We're not getting divorced because of that, but we don't want to get into that situation where you're going to be miserable in marriage. One more thing about sexuality. Physical touch. If you know that you get excited when somebody is about to come into the room and she cringes, like when your baby is knocking at the door or they about to open the door and that's when you explode the most, almost getting caught, and you can do that at home or you could do that out in the community. You could do it at the drive-in. You could do it at the drive-through. There's a lot of places that you could do it. In the park, you know, when people are coming by and you get excited the most because of the thrill of getting caught. But she ain't into none of that. She like, that's too risky. I ain't going to jail. You a freak. I ain't doing none of that. Then why would you marry her? 75% of all first-time marriages in the African-American community end in divorce. And that includes black men and white women, black men and Asian women, black men and German women, black men and black women. If the main character is you, they end in divorce 75% of the time. 55% of all first-time marriages end in divorce in the general population. That's everybody but people who look like me. 20% of all first-time marriages end in divorce within the first 5 years. So they don't even make it to year 7. Sex is a major part of this equation here. You got to get it together. The other thing I want to talk to you about is respect. Sisters, if you are listening to me, you're listening to the sound of my voice, you gotta respect the man who went out of his way to wife you, to make you an honest woman, to give you his last name, to raise your status, because it still is status, good status, when you are married. But when you disrespect that man, and disrespect is different, but in general, when you talk to him like he's 3, that's disrespectful behavior. When he's talking and you overtalk him, that's not only disrespectful behavior, that's aggressive behavior. When he's trying to teach you something and you interrupt him, disrespectful behavior, also aggressive behavior. And when he's trying to tell you something to take you to the next level or to up level your mindset and you interrupt him, disrespectful behavior, also aggressive behavior. When he's trying to tell you something that is really important to him and you argue him down. When he feels like he's in combat, when he's talking to you, when he sees your body language and you got your arms closed, your legs crossed, and you're frowning or you're looking away, not making eye contact, or you're going like this, or you're like you acting like you're pulling out your hair. All that is disrespectful to your husband, and it's like oxygen. Without it, I can't even emulate what it looks like not having oxygen without looking all disconjointed and discombobulated. Oxygen and respect are like hand and glove for a man. Fellas, security. I would say that for most wives, security is their oxygen. You got to make them feel secure, whatever that means. And as you get to know her, you'll find out, as long as you listen and as long as you pay attention, what makes her feel secure, and the opposite, what makes her feel insecure. So the two of you got to have respect and security. So you get those two things together, I think you can weather almost any storm as long as you have the right mindset, the right words, and the right plan. I created this episode for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to stop unhappy marriages from starting. I will see you on the good side. Peace.